Yo, what is up, my fellow Guardians? Archangel here with a brand new Destiny video for you guys today. It's been a long ass time since we've done a Destiny video, and as I said in a newer video, we're trying to get back into the swing because I was uploading videos pretty consistently. Then I kind of like dropped off, which I explained in a newer video, which you can watch at the end of this video. But today we're gonna talk about Destiny. It's gonna be a two-part video because I don't want to have like a 40-minute long video because it would be if I did this all in one video. So we're gonna have a video which is about the PvP side of Destiny, and a video which is about the PvE side of Destiny. So we're back into Destiny. Destiny has had a lot of new things happen over the course of the last month, essentially. There's a whole new season, there's new content, there's a new roadmap, and everything when it comes to Destiny is just ramping up in a way where this has probably been the most active Destiny has been in a very long time when it comes to the player base is fully engaged in it. New players are coming into the game. Old players are returning to the game. There's content in the future people are excited about. There's content right now people are grinding out. So this is like a Destiny has like returned from the ashes like a fucking phoenix, you know, just to reuse that old trope. But so I want to talk about Destiny. I want to talk about my experience with it, going back to the game. I want to talk about how I feel towards the game. And so this first video on cover PvP, I feel like this is still fresh in my head. Where it's like PvE, I'm gonna need like a longer time to like to digest some things, and you know, just to go into a deeper conversation about the PvE side of the game. Whereas PvP is a little bit more simple. So when it comes down to Destiny PvP, just to get right into it, it's a mixed bag. If you have 10 people in a room and you ask them, what do you think of Destiny PvP? You have 5 people who say it's complete trash and garbage, and you have 5 people who are like, "Oh, it's fine, play today." That's the mixed bag of Destiny PvP. Depending on who you are, you might find it to be utterly garbage, or you might find it to be playable. The way I see Destiny PvP is neither of those things. I think Destiny PvP is underappreciated, but also is definitely not great. You know, Destiny PvP is a big bad rap, and in a lot of cases it deserves it, but at the exact same time it's not near as bad as people make it out to be. And I used to be one of the people who legit thought the PvP for Destiny was just garbage, so I just didn't touch it. But that was with me just not caring to touch it, because Destiny's PvP isn't attractive from the standpoint of being someone who plays other shooters. I play a shit ton of shooters, not just Destiny. I play Siege, play Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo. I've played a lot of Overwatch, surprisingly. I played, you know, Ghost Recon games, Gears of War. You know, if you can name the shooter, especially when it comes to like a AAA shooter, I've probably freaking played it and probably done very good at it. So I feel like I have a decent ability to give an opinion on shooters. But the reason why, like, if you play all those games, you tend to not want to play Destiny is because Destiny's sound design isn't trying to do the same thing that those shooters do. The example being, Destiny has no real, you know, distinctive footstep sound. So when you're playing Destiny, anyone can just run up on you and you just won't even hear them. That's just how it is. So if you're someone who plays Call of Duty, Battlefield, Siege, you know, games where you're utilizing your you know, the sound of footsteps, the sound of windows breaking, things like that in the kind of games, that doesn't exist in Destiny. You don't hear footsteps in Destiny, and that's a negative to me, because like that's kind of like it's not attractive when people can just run up on you without you having like any like sensible awareness to counteract it. I feel like footsteps are a very important thing to have in a multiplayer game, like especially when it comes to shooters. I feel like it's a very important thing because there's a skill to it, and you can say there's a skill to sound whoring. Yeah, there's a skill to being able to register, you know, where those are coming from. It's coming from my left, coming from my right, it's behind me, it's my teammates' footsteps that I'm hearing. Is that above me or is that below me? If you're playing a game where there's multi floors for a map, so there's a lot of different sounds that you're going to hear, and you have to be able to tell the difference between where that sound is actually located in your vicinity and who is giving those sounds. So you could say, well, then Destiny's more simple by not having it. No, but like it's a very important thing to have the sound of footsteps, and at this point in Destiny stage, you can't just like patch it in. So and like the weird thing about Destiny is it's probably the only shooter that I would say you can play without a headset. Like there's no important sound cues in Destiny to where you would need to have a gaming headset on. Like you can say, what if you hear a super go off? Well, if you hear super go off, you hear super go off. But at the same time, the game will also put in like the bottom left hand corner of your screen that someone has pumped has activated their super. So like you will visually see it on your screen that someone is using their super. You know, without hearing jumps, because you can't hear jumps again. You know you can't hear footsteps, you can hear jumps. What about hearing jumps? You can try to like use the sound of people's jumps to pinpoint locations, things like that. Maybe. Now I'll always wear my gaming headset, but I'm just saying you can play Destiny's multiplayer without the gaming headset. It won't really matter. So outside of that, what else is there to Destiny that will draw people to being negative towards PvP? I would say it's the imbalance. Destiny is a game that's impossible to like fully balance, and I don't think people understand that when it comes to the game. People are always like, this gun is too strong, or this gun is too weak, this super is too strong, this super is too weak. This is a game that's literally like is I can see from Bungie's standpoint on why it's so difficult to balance the game out, because I'm studying the game while I'm playing it. I do that with all games that I play. I study every inch of the game, and it's like, yeah, I can see why it's hard to balance it. Like stasis, personally, I think stasis is garbage. I would never use it myself in Crucible. I feel like if you use stasis in Crucible, you're just a bitch. Like I'm just not going to sugarcoat it. I said this on my stream yesterday. You guys, you might see this video on Monday. So Thursday stream, I mentioned it. I was like, I don't use stasis in shooters in Destiny, mostly because I don't use anything in shooters that involves stunning people. I don't like the idea of playing a shooter and you forcing your opponent to stand still. I don't like that. I like to do things based on skill. And to me, there's no skill in that. There's no skill in my opponent being forced to stand still. There's skill in my opponent has an equal opportunity to fight me as I have with them, and we're gonna win or lose this situation based on our gun skill, our map knowledge, and our ability knowledge. Just be able to utilize the mechanics of the game to succeed. I don't want to slow you down. I don't want to stun you. That's not an advantage. I mean, it's not. I won't say it's not an advantage, because it is an advantage. It's an advantage that favors me. It's not a balanced advantage. I feel like stasis was a mistake. I feel like it's a great PvP skill, but not for PvP. If you're in PvE Destiny, stasis is fine. It's adorable if you like ice abilities. But if PvP, I just don't like the idea of stasis. I feel like anyone who uses it aren't good players. They're not skilled players. They're just people who just want an advantage and don't care about the lack of skill that's required to use it. But that's also like the big thing about Destiny is Destiny a skill game? And the answer to that is no. And before I get into this, understand this: just because someone says a game is easy or doesn't take skill doesn't mean that you're bad at the game. Understand that people feel like whenever you call a game easy or doesn't require skill, that you're trying to like denounce them as an individual. If you're good at something, you're good at something. And what that means for a game that's easy is you're even better at that game because you're good. If you're good at Halo, you go play Destiny and you dominate Destiny, that just means you're good, like a good player who's taking advantage of an easy game's mechanics. Destiny isn't a game that requires a lot of skill. There's a lot of mechanics to the game that just favoritizes an unbalanced playstyle. The Warlocks have kind of been, the biggest hater of Warlocks for like the longest time, Destiny 2. And it's weird because that's my second most used class. And I don't think Warlocks are trash like that. Like I'm not going to go into that. I just feel like the Warlock class is the easiest class in the game to play, the easiest class in the game to master, and the easiest class in the game to have unbalanced gameplay with. And you'll see throughout this video where I'm playing a Warlock and I'm doing all these things that aren't skill required. I'm not some great Destiny player pulling these things off. I'm taking advantage of a very unbalanced character who decides games, who decides outcomes for me. I don't decide the outcome for my Warlock. Warlock decides outcomes for me. You'll see a clip from here from and I was in Trials of Osiris where I literally clutched the round with a healing rift, and I'm not getting that kill if I don't have the healing rift. I'm going against a hunter. The hunter, he's not gonna be able to heal himself. Yes, there's a helmet in the games where if a hunter freaking like does a dodge roll, he gets a little bit of his health back. But understand, he's not. People aren't fully wearing that helmet in PvP. People are going to wear what's like a legitimate real advantage. That's a helmet that's kind of more or less useful in PvE, PvP, especially trials. You're not running that helmet. So like, I'm winning this gunfight. That isn't because I'm a better player than he is. Isn't because I'm better with the traveler's chosen than he is whatever gun he's using. No, we literally get into this big skirmish with all the teams involved, and it's down to a 1v1 where I'm losing that fight. I have literally like an inch of health. If he sneezes, I'm dead. I'm losing this fight. The healing rift, I win the fight. The healing rift literally gave me that win. And that wasn't skill. It wasn't skill to tap a button and be like, haha, I'm now healing myself. You can't do shit about it. You can't heal yourself. That's not skill. That was just, oh shit, I'm gonna lose this fight. Off this button. That's the game's mechanics saving me in a situation where I should have lost. And that's how I feel when I play Warlock. Whenever I play Warlock, whenever I see someone play Warlock, I feel like you're not playing the game's playing you. As in, the game's catering to you, is favoring you, is making things so much easier on you, the individual player, to where you don't have to worry about anything. Again, the healing rift, no other class in the game has a class ability that just heals you consistently. You don't need to have an exotic on to get healed when you're playing a Warlock. Again, the Hunter has a helmet where if they do a dodge roll, they get some health. That requires you to use an exotic. It's not built into the dodge mechanic of either Hunter or subclass to be able for you to just have a consistent healing ability. Same thing for Titan. The Warlock is the only character in the game who has a consistent healing ability. When you hear that sentence, that is called unbalanced. If no one else can do it in the game other than just that one class, it isn't balanced. The healing rift is not broken in the sense of overpoweredness. It's not balanced. And not only that, if you pair the healing rift with, say, the stag, and you're playing bottom tree Warlock on Arc class, Stormcaller, it's even better. Not only do you have this healing rift, you also get the arc soul. So basically, you're turning all your fights into a 2v1, which is also something that you see in a lot of clips in this video when I'm playing Warlock. You see me playing that bottom tree Stormcaller wearing stag, where this arc soul over my shoulder, this mini, this pet, this Navi, if you want to call it that, is basically making every fight I'm in a 2v1. I have the second thing that's doing damage while I'm also doing damage and also getting healed, and also because of the effect of stag, I'm able to resist more damage when I'm inside my freaking rift. So again, there's just so much stacking up on just the rift itself. Like this isn't even going to an alt. Like this is all the different things. This is basic ability. And if you're using mods and things that gives you like a chance to like regen your grenades and your rift quicker, even more so, you're just becoming this unkillable machine. Like it's not balanced. And I know people who are like Warlock mains, you're gonna sit there and be like, yo, you just shitting on Warlocks. You just shitting on Warlocks. Warlocks are the only class that's like only part of the conversation. Just the first that I'm mentioning. Because let's be honest, when it comes to Warlocks, they're the easiest class to play. And the easiest class is going to get the most shit. Then you have Titans. Titans in Destiny 1 was that class where everyone was playing it. It was everyone loved the Fist of Panic. That's why it got its name. It was a very casual thing. You didn't have to be like a good player to be a solid Titan. Just Fist of Panic your way through life. Charge melee your way through life. Put your little shield up and just sit behind it and hope that the other team just doesn't like throw a shit ton of grenades at your way or rockets or whatever to break your shield to fuck you up. Titans also have the ability to just be a ridiculous class. I feel like the only class in Titan that is somewhat respectable is Sentinel. Because Sentinel kind of takes a bit of skill to be good with. And also like that's, if you know me, you know how much I dislike Titans. Like, even though I just shit on Warlocks for like a good 10 minutes, I think Titans are the worst class in the game in terms of like, I just don't like them at all. I have all three characters, and my Titan's my least used character. I think Titans are boring and crappy. But I think Sentinel takes a bit of skill to master. Not skill to play, skill to master. A good Sentinel is ridiculous. Like, and it takes a lot to be a good sentinel. You know, to know exactly how that class works. It's not, a class isn't a spam class. You're not gonna panic when it comes to, not gonna panic with your sentinel player like you can with the art class. There's no fist of sentinel. You know, fist of panic is a real thing, and it like and even comes like the solar ability isn't ridiculous, but I wouldn't say it doesn't take as much skill, near as much skill as being a good sentinel player. I like the solar class with Titans. That's what I like. That's the only thing I will play when I play Titan, to be honest with you, because it's just fun. I like fire. The sentinel, I try sentinel every now and then, and I just feel like it's just because I feel like when it comes to sentinel, a lot of reason why I think that the alt takes skill is because it's the only alt that Titans have where you actually have to land your hits. You know, when you throw the shield, you can go full Captain America, you throwing your shield around, you have to land those hits. Like, there is no AoE. There is no, it's going to just hit whoever is in the area. It's not going to like be guided by the game's mechanics. Like, you have to be accurate with that. As someone who mains the Hunter, that reminds me of Golden Gun. Golden Gun, Golden Gun doesn't have any AoEs unless you're using Slasher Nighthawk, which has like, you know, keyhole and combustion built into it. It doesn't have any AoEs, so you have to actually hit each individual person you hit with the Golden Gun. There is no I missed, but the AoE's gonna like do an explosion and get the kill anyways. Kind of like with Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker, you can miss with that, but there's such a big AoE to where it's still gonna like do damage even after it missed. You'll see a clip in this video where I'm playing a Warlock and someone's using Golden Gun, and I'm just like crouch spamming to avoid the shots because you have to actually hit me or to get the kill. Same thing on the Sentinel. Sentinel has to like actually hit you. So, you know, I feel like Sentinel is definitely a skill class of Titans. So that, in my opinion, that would give Titans one up over Warlocks and have some form of skill required to be played. You know, I don't think any Warlock classes requires any skill. I prefer to play Nova when it comes to Warlock. I love being a Devour Warlock. It's fun as shit. And in general, I do think Nova Warlock isn't as easy as Stormcaller or Dawnbreaker, because it's really easy to fuck up your art when it comes to being a Nova Warlock. But if you know what you're doing, which isn't hard, just an average mindset of someone who plays the Nova class, you won't fuck up your art. But I still give Titans a one-up on skill requirement when it comes to playing Sentinel. Then you have the Hunter, which is my main class. The Hunter is easily the most underpowered class in the game, and you can say, well, we're gonna fear Titans because it's a class that I play myself personally, not like personally. But the reason why I call the Hunter the most underpowered class in the game, unless you're getting headshots with the throwing knife, the Hunter is the only class in the game that doesn't have one-hit kill melee. Titans on all three subclasses, one-hit kill melee. Same thing comes to Warlocks. Hunters not so much. Not only that, Hunters have the most skill-demanding subclasses when it comes to their supers. Other than Stasis, and at the beginning of this video, I already mentioned my dislike of Stasis across the board. Hunters have the most unbalanced Stasis because it's just stupid. You just throw the little thingies and they just spin around and stun people and kill people, and the Hunter can die, and they're all will still be on the map getting them kills from the grave. And it's just, the stasis for the Hunter is just stupid. It's ridiculous. It's most unbalanced from a stasis in the game. Like, there's no, that's my opinion, but I feel like if you poll the community, most people would agree that the stasis for the Hunter is probably like the most unbalanced one, most balanced from a stasis in the game. So excluding that, when it comes to Arc, Solar, Nova, it takes a massive amount of patience. Not, I won't say skill, but patience and know-it-all to use those classes, because for the most part, 2 out of the 3 require you to be accurate. You have to land your arrows when you use the freaking the Nova class. You have to land your golden gunshots. When it comes to playing the Arc Strider, you got to get close and just melee people. You were there, you gotta get close. There are some you kind of like just throw like a bolt of lightning, but the range of that is very short. So I just think the Hunter just takes more skill to be good with. Not only that, it takes more skill to master their abilities. It takes more skill to have survivability as a Hunter. That's the big thing to me. It takes a lot of skill to be able to survive, because the Hunter doesn't have you know, a shield to put in people's faces. It doesn't have a healing rift. It doesn't have, you know, the grenades. The hunter's grenades, other than like trip mine and the spike grenade for Nova, the hunter grenades are shit. Like garbage grenades, literally. Especially PvE. PvE hunter, the grenades, all the grenades are garbage. When it comes to the hunter, PvP, spike grenade and trip mine are good, but outside of that, they're shit. So the hunter, the thing that the hunter has going for is just, if you can survive, you're probably a pretty good hunter, because your best tool in your toolkit is your dodge. And people will say that's all hunters need. That dodge makes them very squirrely. They avoid so much, you know, carnage, and they avoid death with that dodge. Yeah, and it's the only thing they have that's going to help them with survivability. And if someone pushes them, they're fucked. You know, and when you're a hunter and you use that dodge has to be like, you don't dodge and then get back to the fight. You dodge it and run away. Like you dip and try to, like, you live to fight another day. So what about the maps of the game? The maps for Destiny aren't terrible. There's some maps, like, they need to definitely divide the maps up for the game modes, because there's maps that you pop in control that are definitely not control maps. Like the thing is called Burnout. It was a map that they have for Trials of Osiris, but it's a good Trials map. 3v3, it's a solid map. But for Control 66 is fucking chaos. Like you're gonna be spawn dying a lot. So the maps aren't terrible either. So I don't want the video to be too long. We're at 21 minutes, so I'm gonna like try to speed up a little bit. And just say this when it comes to Destiny's multiplayer. It's chaotic. It's very chaotic. And it's also super unbalanced across the board. There's unbalanced weapons, there's unbalanced classes. Everything about the game is just unbalanced. And I feel like that factors into people hating the game's multiplayer. But I think that unbalance actually makes the game fun. Even when it comes to what I said about the Warlock, what I said about the Titan, what I said about the Hunter, it makes the game fun. If you're a Hunter, you love that class is so underpowered. This makes you feel good. It makes you feel good when you're top of the leaderboard. It makes you feel good when you're just with people's ass. It's like, yo, I'm beating y'all ass, and I don't even have anywhere near the utility that you have. When you're a Warlock, you feel good. I like when games let you feel good. You feel like you might think you're a great player, but you feel good. You feel like you're doing some cool shit. And that's kind of what Destiny is. It's a game where you do cool shit and you feel cool doing it. Same thing with the Titan. Titans is a class people are attracted to because you're this big tank ass motherfucker who just goes in and just wrecks things. And I think that's why I actually enjoy Destiny PvP. I played Trials of Osiris a lot on all three characters, and it was enjoyable. I've been playing Control a lot. It's been enjoyable. Like, it's a weird thing to say that the game isn't great. There's things about it that's definitely trash, but it's also enjoyable. Like, you can have bad mechanics and somehow, some way, still be fun to play. I think that fun to play, because it's just something about the PvP. If you play it, like, if you just play 3 games a week because you're getting your pinnacle gear and that's it, then yeah, you're gonna constantly think the game's trash. But if you actually put a considerate amount of time into playing the PvP of Destiny, you start to realize it's not that bad. Yeah, it has issues. It has some imbalances, but it's not that bad. It's playable, and it can be outright fun. Especially, like, me and my friends, I have 4 friends, those 5 of us playing Control, and we were having fun. Some of the gameplay you see in this video is us playing together and having some freaking fun. We had some close games. We lost some games. We won some games. It was fun. I had a stream when we were like we were enjoying ourselves across the board. Like, it was a fun experience. Like, Destiny PvP, it needs some work, but it's still fun. I feel like people who hate it don't even give it a chance to be fun. You know, they feel like when it comes to Trials, this gun is being used the most. You know, this subclass. It's like you have to suspend the fact that you're trying to be like competitive. Don't be competitive in Destiny. Like, I know it's a weird thing to say, but stop trying to sweat. Try to have fun. Go into the game trying to get as many kills as you possibly can. Trying to catch as many flags as you can. Utilize all of your abilities and just have fun. And you will probably have a different mindset when it comes to Destiny. And that's like a weird thing. Like, a lot of this video has been me talking trash about the game, But for the most part, I want this video to end by saying it's fun. PvP for Destiny, any game can be annoying every now and then, but for the most part, it's fun. Like, yeah, Bungie, there's a lot of things you have to work on. It really is. But overall, it's nowhere near as bad as people think it is. It's nowhere near as bad people claim it is. It's fun. You know, if you're great at the PvP, it doesn't mean that you don't have skill when I say that these classes are unbalanced, things like that. Because again, if you're good, you're good. You know, I heard someone say it's not hard to be good at Destiny. It's not hard to be a good Warlock. It's not hard to be a good Titan. It's hard to be a good Hunter. But it's not easy to be good at Destiny as a whole. There's way more to Destiny people think there is. But people who made the comment that it's easy to be good at Destiny probably don't play the PvP consistently. And if they do, a lot of them tend to don't, if they don't, on a competitive level at least, aren't doing great at it. It's like you kind of like you call everyone, you will say everyone else is not good but doing good, make yourself feel better about the fact that you're not doing good. That happens too. People will legit denounce people's ability in video games just because they themselves aren't having great games. So that's that. So this video is almost 30 minutes long, so we're gonna wrap it up. Like, it wasn't intended. Like, I feel like this video is probably be like 15 minutes. That's my initial thought was. So imagine if I did 12 PvP. It's definitely not PvP. If I talk about PvE in this video, it'd be like an hour long. This might as well have been like a freaking Destiny podcast. So almost 30 minutes long. I'm gonna wrap it up. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all checked out after like 5 minutes. It is what it is. You know, but again, if you watch the entire 26+ minutes of the video, you're a trooper. You know, these videos aren't meant for you to watch entirely in terms of like your visuals. It's more for you to listen. This is a conversation. So you can have this video up on your second monitor or on your phone or your laptop while you're doing work, playing video games, and just listening to the conversation and then chatting in the chat section about your thoughts. You don't have to like actually be watching it directly. The gameplay is just gameplay. What you need to be focused on is conversation. With all that said, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you guys on the next one. I've been your boy, Texas Archangel, your favorite film content creator. Twitch will be link in the description box below. Catch you guys on the next one. Y'all be safe. Become one another. Peace.